All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive with me. Usually these are all about, the game, the final score, but your sources this time are way more interested in the stuff happening off the field.
Yeah, you're not kidding. This Super Bowl, right, a total cultural moment. You've got pop stars facing off against, well, fans, I guess, and a tennis legend who's not afraid of a little controversy, and, oh yeah, a legal battle over a diss track. You really can't make this stuff up.
Seriously, you're telling me you even have sources on Serena Williams doing the crip walk during halftime and Taylor Swift getting booed?
Mm-hmm.
This is wild. So where do we even start with all this?
Well, let's just jump right in with that Taylor Swift thing. I mean, it really shows how complicated things are between celebrities and fans. You've got this huge pop star, right? Showing up to support her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. He plays for the Chiefs, of course. And suddenly Eagles fans are like, nope, not a fan of yours anymore.
Yeah, because the Eagles are playing the Chiefs, right? So I guess just her being there was enough to make people mad. It really does seem like fans take that stuff really, really personally.
Oh, yeah. It's like they have this almost personal connection, like a parasocial relationship. They feel so invested in the celebrity's life that they expect, like, loyalty. And when Swift is cheering for Kelce, well, I guess that felt like she was betraying the Eagles fans somehow.
Right, right. I get that. I guess that explains the booing. But you even have sources talking about Swift's reaction,
Hmm.
like how she looked over at her friends and then kind of gave the camera a side eye. It's pretty wild how even a small thing like that can blow up online.
Oh, absolutely. That's social media for you. One second she's giving the side eye, the next second it's a meme, it's a GIF, it's everywhere. And people are talking about it, arguing about it, you name it. It's a good reminder that when you're a celebrity, well, everything you do can become public, even the stuff you think is private.
Yeah, no kidding, especially when you're as famous as Taylor Swift. But hey, speaking of famous women, Serena Williams actually tweeted support for Swift after all that. It's kind of cool to see, you know, two women who were super successful facing this crazy public pressure, and they're like, hey, we've got each other's backs.
Totally. It's like there's this understanding between women who are in the spotlight like that. They get judged way harsher than anyone else for everything, even just their facial expressions. Williams's tweet felt like she was saying, "Hey, I get it. I've been there." And it felt like a really powerful message of support.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that even these global icons can use their influence to lift each other up. But you know what else I got to ask about? That Serena Williams crip walk during Kendrick Lamar's performance. What's the deal with that?
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, the crip walk is this dance move that started way back in the 1970s. It's a really important part of Black culture, but it's also been controversial, right? Some people love it, some people hate it. So for Williams to do it on this huge, huge stage, well, that was a pretty bold move.
And people definitely had opinions, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some of your sources call it a wild flex and nasty work. It's clear that it got a reaction out of people.
Oh, totally. It's not even the first time she's done it either. Remember back in 2012 at the Olympics? Same
Yeah.
thing. And there was even that time when she joked about getting fined for doing it at Wimbledon. It's just part of who she is. She likes to push boundaries, and she obviously loves that dance move.
Right. I love it. This whole thing, the crip walk, it ties into so much of what we've been talking about. You've got fan culture, you've got celebrities, and you've even got these questions about race and representation. But wait a minute, didn't all this happen during a song that had, like, its own controversy going on?
You're right. It was Lamar's song, Not Like Us. Now, that song is a diss track aimed at Drake. And to make things even more complicated, there's a line in the song, a line that Lamar actually censored during the Super Bowl performance, that makes a really serious accusation.
And that's where the lawsuit comes in, right? The one Drake filed against his record label. You mentioned Universal Music Group represents both Drake and Lamar, so how does that fit into all this?
Well, think about it. Lamar isn't actually named in the lawsuit, but his song is right at the center of this legal battle. So where do we draw the line between what an artist can say and what a music label should allow? Do they have a responsibility to make sure their artists aren't crossing a line?
It's amazing to me that one single performance can be about so many different things. You've got sources on how some people think the Williams crip walk was a direct response to Lamar's lyrics.
Mhm.
Like she was making a statement about Black culture in the middle of this music industry feud.
I can see that, yeah. I mean, whether it was intentional or not, putting the Crip Walk together with that particular song definitely adds another layer of meaning to the performance. And it shows how art can have so many different interpretations, right? It all depends on who's looking at it and what their own experiences are.
Wow. It's crazy to me that we're talking about Booing fans, surprise dance moves, and a full-blown legal battle, all from one Super Bowl halftime show.
Right. It just shows how connected everything is these days. I mean, you've got sports, music, social media, even the law, and they're all tangled up together. And when you have people like Swift and Williams, these huge figures, doing what they do, well, it starts conversations about everything, from how we think about fandom to how we hold people accountable.
Seriously,
Yeah.
my head is spinning. It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
In a world where everything is so connected, how do we deal with all these artists and celebrities that we follow? What's the right way to interact with them?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we enjoy their work, be happy for their successes, maybe even be inspired by them, but also hold them accountable when they mess up and disagree with them when we need to? That's a conversation that's going to keep going long after the Super Bowl is over.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time for another deep dive.
Absolutely. See you then.